Imagine you're underwater. A small, colorful creature crawls across the seafloor. It looks almost peaceful, almost decorative. And then, in about the time it takes you to blink, it punches so hard it boils the water around its fist. That's a mantis shrimp. But here's the thing. As terrifying as its bunch is, that's not even the most mind-bending thing about it. The mantis shrimp might be seeing a version of reality that you and I literally cannot conceive of. Not just can't see, can't imagine, like your brain doesn't have the hardware to picture it. Let's talk about why. Before we get into the mantis shrimp, we need to talk about you, specifically your eyes. Inside your retina, you have photoreceptor cells called cones. Humans have 3 types. Each one is tuned to a range of wavelengths, roughly red, green, and blue. Every color you've ever seen in your entire life, the sunset, a painting, the color of someone's eyes, is just your brain mixing signals from those 3 cone types. 3 channels, that's it. The entire rainbow of human experience, billions of colors, distilled from just 3 inputs. Now, some people have a mutation that gives them a 4th cone. They're called tetrachromats, and they can see distinctions in color that most of us would perceive as identical. Scientists estimate there might be up to 12% of women who carry this gene. For a long time, researchers thought that was extraordinary, a 4th cone. Imagine that. And then they studied the mantis shrimp. The mantis shrimp, specifically species like Odontodactylus ciliaris, the peacock mantis shrimp, has 16 types of photoreceptors, 16. For comparison, dogs have 2, humans have 3, butterflies have 5, and this little crustacean has 16, plus additional receptors for ultraviolet light and even polarized light. When scientists first discovered this, the assumption was obvious. This animal must see an unimaginable explosion of color, like it must be experiencing some kind of psychedelic hyperreality that makes our world look gray by comparison. And here's where it gets weird. Research, particularly a landmark 2014 study by Marshall and Thone, tested mantis shrimp on their ability to distinguish between colors. And the results were shocking in the opposite direction. Mantis shrimp are actually worse at telling apart similar colors than humans are. Wait, what? Here's the key insight that blew researchers' minds. Human color vision works through comparison. Your 3 cone types overlap in sensitivity, and your brain figures out color by asking, how much are these channels disagreeing? The more overlap, the more nuanced the comparison, the more colors you can distinguish. Mantis shrimp don't do that. Their 16 photoreceptor types have very little overlap. They're not mixing signals. They're running what scientists call parallel, independent channels. Think of it like this. Human vision is like a mixing board. You blend inputs to get infinite combinations. Mantis shrimp vision is more like a barcode scanner. It's not blending, it's identifying. Each channel fires or it doesn't. It's a categorization system, not a spectrum. So instead of seeing more shades of color than us, the mantis shrimp might be operating with a completely different concept of color entirely, one that has nothing to do with hue or shade as we understand it. It's not that they see more colors, it's that they might not be experiencing color the way we think of color at all. This is where philosophy walks into the room. There's a famous essay by philosopher Thomas Nagel called "What Is It Like to Be a Bat?" The argument is simple but devastating. Even if you knew everything about bat neuroscience, you still couldn't know what it feels like to navigate by echolocation. Subjective experience, what philosophers call qualia, can't be fully captured by objective data. The mantis shrimp is our version of that problem, but cranked to 11. We can map its photoreceptors. We can run behavioral experiments. We can model what wavelengths each channel detects. But can we ever know what it's like to receive 16 independent streams of light data simultaneously and process them in a way evolution has? Tuned over millions of years for hunting, mating, and survival on a coral reef? Probably not, and honestly, there's something beautiful about that. The universe is wide enough to contain forms of perception that are simply outside our reach to imagine. not just outside our sight, outside our comprehension. The mantis shrimp doesn't care that it's the most visually complex animal we've ever found. It's out there right now, on a reef somewhere, punching things, seeing in wavelengths we don't have names for, living in a version of reality that no human has ever experienced and no human ever will. And I think that's one of the most humbling things about science. Every time we think we understand what seeing or hearing or feeling means, nature hands us something like this. A 3-inch crustacean that quietly makes our entire sensory world look like a rough draft. So next time you look at a sunset and think, wow, that's beautiful, just know, somewhere at the bottom of the ocean, a mantis shrimp is looking at something, experiencing something that we don't even have the brain architecture to imagine. And it's probably about to punch it. And if you want more deep dives into the weird edges of biology and perception, subscribe. See you next time.